Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I came on today to talk to you about something I went through this morning. So, today, right now, as I'm recording, it is Sunday. And Sunday, I have the opportunity and the choice of whether or not I want to physically attend church or do I just want to watch online. And I'm close enough to the church that I can go to church. I'm about half an hour away from it. But it's easier, it's more comfortable to stay in my comfort zone. So today I had to physically, physically and mentally, or maybe just emotionally and mentally, push myself to leave the house. And just to let you all know what a struggle it was for me to do this, I changed clothes 2 times, possibly three. I went in and checked my face. Had to tell myself, you've brushed your teeth already. Went to find shoes, couldn't find the right shoes. Looked in stuff that I knew that the shoes were not in. Um, Started to leave and go out the door. And then had to check again whether or not I wanted to. Left my room, walked across the living room and across the dining room, and did physically trip. I tripped onto the dining room table, caught me, and said, well, I guess that's the answer. And I was about to turn around and go back to my room and be ready to turn on YouTube on the TV so I could just watch service. But it dawned on me. Although being depressed causes us to isolate a lot, or yeah, because being depressed causes us to isolate a lot. I isolate a lot because I am depressed. You see, sometimes I have to make the decision of whether or not I want to fall into those symptoms of depression or whether or not I want to manage what I know is going on. I know that I struggle with leaving my comfort zone. And you may struggle with leaving your comfort zone too. And if you look back at maybe the past month, how many times have you left? Have you only left to go to work and then you come back and you stay? Do you go out with friends ever? Do you go out and maybe go to dinner? This is really hard for some people. Do you take yourself to dinner? I know that can be a negative point to some people, and they don't want to do that. Can you go to the movies by yourself? Do you go to the movies by yourself? There's no reason not to. It's not like you're talking to someone through the movie. Do you do anything nice for yourself? Pick something to do that's nice for yourself. I never realized that I was avoiding all of these things. My my niece told me that they used to call me the fancy niece because I always had my nails done, toes and fingers, always had makeup on, always had the nicest clothes, was always coming in and out and going everywhere. And looking back over the past 5 years, I could see a decline, 10 years actually. I could see a decline in all that, where I stopped doing some of those things for myself and I didn't really even think it mattered. But as I stopped doing those things, I started not going out as much because, well, I'm not sure if it was because I didn't feel as cute or because I was using that as an excuse, but I didn't go out as more. So I was staying in. And then it would be the, I haven't left the house in 3 weeks, which eventually I started to just say, wow, how much time can you spend in the house without leaving? That's awful. So I had to, and encourage you to as well, kind of take stock in what it is that you are doing when you feel like you're struggling with mental health. One of the major things I do is I isolate. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to leave my room. I don't want to leave the house. I just want to be alone and do what I want to do. But just as depression can cause that, I can cause myself to be depressed because that's what I'm doing. So make yourself some goals. I have 3 ways of working around this isolation thing. Make yourself some goals, even if it has to be where you're going to go or maybe the time you're going to leave by. I made sure that today I had to leave by 9:10. Honestly, I was supposed to leave by 9 because, like I told you, it's supposed to take me a half an hour to get to church. I was supposed to leave by 9. I left at 9:10. I was really pushing it because I was like, I could just not go. Service is at 9:30, but then again, there's another one at 11. But I knew that if I didn't go to the 9:30 service, that I would watch the 9:30 service on YouTube and not go to the 11 o'clock one. So I had to set a time for myself of when to be out. So I was out and I made it. Okay, so the sun's coming back out, kind of. When it goes back in, it will be overcast again, and I will be comfortable. Until then, next thing that you have to do, you have to be honest with yourself about whether or not, come on, guys, there are people who would say things to us that we would go off on. There are things that would be done to us that we would not allow anyone else to do to us. Why do we allow ourselves to do it? Why are we so willing to be okay with just the mediocre or not even the mediocre, less than that? So, as I try to wipe the sweat away, um, so you have to be willing to push yourself. We were going to go heads up, me and myself and I, we were going to go because I was like, when's the last time you've been to a service? When is the last time you've been to a physical service and just gotten out? Be careful of those things that are around you that make things so convenient that you don't have to do things like go out, or you don't have to do things like go shopping. Oh my gosh, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all those things are so convenient. But can you go out? Are you able to do it yourself? Are you willing to do it yourself? So make sure you're willing to go kind of heads up with yourself and call yourself to the table and get out and leave regardless. Okay, and the last one, see, I just want you to know, even this is good for me because I don't do this outside thing. But the last one is pick a destination to go to. So I had picked sometimes, and I think I've talked about this before, sometimes I pick a place that I want to go to that I want to make sure that I want to try something. For instance, crumble cookie is really good. This sun is so hot. For those of you who are up north, excuse me for interrupting myself. For those of you who are up north, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, and it's like 90 degrees today. And this is September 30th, just after Helena came through about 3 days ago. We didn't struggle too bad. We didn't get hit too bad with it. But this sun here, this is hot. I'm waiting for the clouds to go back over the sun. We'll do this. Okay. Yes. So So, like I was saying, a destination. Crumble Cookie, if you've never heard of it before, every week they change their menu and they come out with 5 new cookies that they're going to sell. And they're new flavors, tastes, things that they haven't had for a year, half a year, however it is that they do it. And sometimes I have had to bribe myself by saying, "Ooh, what cookies does Crumble Cookies have?" And I will force myself to get out of the house to do that. I can do that with Starbucks and when they have those sales, and I decide, hey, I could do that sale. Now I could do the two for $10, or I could do the buy one get one, or the half off. And then you have other places that you can also go to, or you can also, kind of bribe yourself to get out of the house. You can use volunteer work to do that. I used to volunteer with babies. I don't see babies anymore. My nieces, my grandnieces and nephew are 5, 6, and 9. So I don't see babies anymore. But when I used to volunteer with the babies, oh, love. So I would make sure that I went out to do that. Um, I'm trying to remember the organization that I love to volunteer with, which was the Make a Wish Foundation. I did this when I was in Greenville. So, Make a Wish Foundation, love that foundation. You see what's happening? The sun is going back away. I'm surprised I'm not melting. It's actually about to come back out. Okay, so surprised I'm not melting. Guys, this is so real for me because I don't like to sweat in front of anyone. Oh, okay. So, continuing. Make sure you're not keeping yourself in that depressive state because staying inside, the unwillingness to go out, um, that can cause you to go through more depression. And I know depression causes us to want to retreat from everything else and be away from everyone and anything else, but you have got to be willing to push yourself. Remember, set a time that you're supposed to be out of the house because if you don't, then everything else will keep you in. Oh, I just want to watch the end of this show. Oh, I just want to make sure I clean this. Oh, I have to make sure that I finish doing the dishes. Push yourself to go out. Set a time. Second thing, sun's trying to come back out. Alrighty, again. Push, push yourself. Be willing to hold yourself accountable. Okay. Anthony. Sorry, just saw someone that I haven't seen in a long time on here. Hi, Anthony. Um, I've been good. I've been hot in the past 10 minutes, but I've been really good. I hope you are well. I was talking about going through isolation and how bad I can be about isolating myself when I'm going through a mental health struggle. So push yourself. I literally had a fight with myself this morning and said, okay, I'm going to need you to leave. I'm going to need you to leave now. Tripped, wanted to use it as an excuse why I was not supposed to go. Get out of the house. So I did. You have to be willing to push through it and fight for yourself. And then a destination. Find a destination or a place that would be something that you haven't done in a while or something you never do. I got a massage for my birthday last week and I was like, I'm gonna have to do that like twice a month. So now I know I have a destination of somewhere I want to go. I know when Crumble Cookie changes their cookies every week, I'm looking at it on Sunday to see what's the new cookie. Be careful, those big ones. I don't eat the big ones. I now get the minis and then I cut it in half. Those big ones are a lot of calories, y'all, just to let you know. Or pick a fun place like Starbucks and what they might have. Buy one, get one free right now. They have their new fall flavors. Anything to get yourself out of the house. Also, taking a drive. I'm just going to add that. Taking a drive for some people might be nice, but I'm going to be honest. After church, I did not just come straight home. I went to the beach, you guys. I went to the beach in this dress, walked through the water, bottom of my dress got all wet and everything. It was hot. I did not sweat as much, maybe because my feet were wet, but it was so nice just to be out. I got some vitamin D with my beach because I never get vitamin D because I'm always trying to avoid the heat in Charleston. But it was so nice to get out. Make sure that you fight for yourself. Isolation is just one of those things that we have to be very careful about because it could sneak up on you and it could keep you in that depressive state because being by ourselves without contact with anyone isn't good. So I hope you guys learned something from this, took something away from this, and I will see you soon. Bye. Not bye yet.